You know what? Over the past few weeks, I have come to realize something. Destiny's story doesn't make any sense. Now look, don't get me wrong. If you've been playing since D1 or realistically even since like season 11 of D2, you probably have a really good grasp of where the story is, or at least understand the general themes that are going on in the narrative. However, as more and more of my friends have started to pick up Destiny, I have found that I've had to give them a lot of unanswered questions on what's happening in the story, or I've had to give them a really underwhelming explanation for something so criminally awesome. And that's when it hit me. I should just make a story guide for all the new lights out there. Seeing as most of D2's story is just inaccessible in-game now, it only makes sense to help new lights catch up like this.
Before I start, however, let's get one thing straight.
I am not gonna waste your time at all. Some of you don't have 8 hours of disposable income to use on a bike video, and look, I respect that. I'm just gonna level with you. Certain things aren't gonna make the cut for this video. Welcome to Destiny, the Abridged series. Our scene opens on old Russia on top of a very comfy car that we fell asleep on. And by fell asleep on, I did mean die on. We're waking up right next to Peter Dinklage. Twinkle twinkle assholes, it's Nolan North now. Nolan North is our ghost. And what that means is we're basically immortal, except when it comes to small heights and little puddles of water. Nolan North takes us to the last city containing humanity on Earth. And we go to the tower of that city, and we meet Bald. Bald and Robot Bald. Ugh. We're gonna go to the moon, Venus, Mars, someplace called the Reef, and then we're gonna have to do some pest control on this black garden. I don't know, that's probably not important, right? Uh-oh, Venus is stirring, the vault of glass is open, and the Vex are doing some wibbly wobbly timey-wimey shit. But it's okay, we just push their boss off an edge, and it's all good. Dark below, in comes Eris Morn, and she's the kind of us that isn't immortal anymore. The moon's a haunted house, and we're basically Luigi diving into its sewers to kill Crota. Basically the Kylo Ren of this franchise. I don't really think that makes sense, but I'm gonna go with it. He's a pretty tough boss, but at the end of the day, all we need to do is just yoink out the Ethernet cord on our PlayStation 3, and Crota is quick work. House of Wolves! Something definitely happens in this DLC, and I'm just not sure what. Once again, the Guardians are on pest control, this time in the Reef. We commit a little fallen genocide here, a little fallen genocide there, and call it a day. Taken King! Oryx is basically the leader of the Hive. He is Crota's dad, and he is not too happy that we killed Crota, so he is out on a murder spree for us. Also, he just created his own race called the Taken, and they look pretty cool and quirky, I guess. I don't know, they do weird things. We kill him, but not really, so we kill him again.
Keep that in mind, that's gonna be a common theme here.
Rise of Iron time. Long ago, there was an esteemed set of guardians who went by the name of the Iron Lords. But then they drank some bad fruit punch called Siva, and now they're all fucking dead. Cut to present day, and now the Fallen are messing around with the Kool-Aid, and not in the hot way. So it's up to us to stop them. We kill some Fallen, kill some reanimated corpses, rage against the machine, and call it a day.
If Destiny is so good, why aren't there two of them?
Gaul's the big bad leader of the Cabal, and he does not mess around. He fucks up the Traveler. He suppresses our shit, and then has the audacity to "This is Sparta" us off of a cliff. We don't have any light. Kind of like my self-esteem. Zavala punches the table, Cade is stuck in a jar, and Ikora is really sad, so you know shit's serious. However, it's not to worry because one touch of a dinky little crystal in a forest, and we've got all of our powers back. With our newly regained light powers, we finally get enough motivation to kick Gaul's shit in a little. And we kick it in just enough to make him
fucking explode.
Yeah! Thanks to our efforts against Gaul, Callus, who's an exiled Cabal emperor, wants to throw us a pizza party. We head onto his ship, the Leviathan, and we play his games for a little bit before we just get tired and we try to kill him. He's not dead, of course, because this is Destiny, and nobody actually dies.
Oh, also, the moldy Doritos are, like, really angry now, so keep that in mind for future expansions.
Curse of Osiris. We're introduced to Osiris, who is Ikora's teacher and is played up to be this monumental, iconic warlock, but in real life he's just kind of like old and grumpy, and I think he kind of wants to die, but that's not really the point I'm trying to get across, so don't dwell on it too much. The Vex are trying to turn the entire planet of Mercury into a beautiful, beautiful forest, but we all know the Vex are never up to any good, so it's up to us to deforest that bitch. Osiris's ghost Segura takes over Nolan North for a little bit. We find Osiris, we mess around with some time travel shit, and then we kill the robot and save the day. Also, Satan 14 is dead for good. Do not expect him back in the story. He is dead for good, I promise you. As a last minute gift, we get invited aboard the Leviathan again, but this time it's not for a pizza party. You see, the Leviathan fucking eats planets. And when it does that, there's sometimes a little bit of collateral damage that's done to it, i.e. a giant fucking Vex Hydra chewing out your belly. So we go and take out the trash there. Warmind. So little happens. And yet at the same time, so much is said. We meet Rasputin, who is a robot that can't decide if he wants to grow up to be a ticking time bomb or a protector of humanity. Either way, the Hive want him dead, it's not important. We meet Anna Bray, who helped create Rasputin back in the day, but she doesn't remember any of it because she fucking died. We kill a Hive worm god and try to talk to Rasputin to figure out if he's our friend or not.
Spoiler alert, we're not gonna find that out for a bit, so I hope you're ready to be unsatisfied.
Forsaken. Remember that Aldrin guy? No, you don't. I haven't brought him up till now. This is Aldrin. He's pissed and his sister is dead. After popping a cap in Cade's ass, he also creates a race, the Scorn. We go back to the tower with Cade's body, and Zavala tells us to be cautious and not act too rashly. And then Chorus says, fuck that! Kill those fuckers! We make our way to the Tangled Shore, which is kind of like if you were trying to go to the reef, but you took a wrong turn too early off the highway. On the shore, we work with this sleazy drug lord dude named Spider, and the Scorn leadership fall faster than you can say 9 out of 10 on IGN. All this whole time, though, Aldrin has been talking to a ghost of his sister, which is a little weird, but it's fine. I'm willing to give it a pass. Weird shit happens.
His sister is a meatball.
I'm kidding. It's not his sister. It's a magical dragon named Riven that grants wishes. We kill the meatball, definitely kill Aldrin for good, and then kill the dragon. Oh, and also, Aldrin's sister, definitely not dead. Like, straight up, she was literally just alive. Thought I'd throw that in there for good measure. Season of the Forge! Okay, these Forsaken seasons are gonna be really bare bones, so, sorry. We meet 801, whose family controlled this mysterious organization called the Black Armory. Get some pretty cool weapons for her, and we kill some pretty cool robots in the process. We also, help her restore her memories and remember who her family is. But that's not cool, Mom. Look at my DPS with Izanagi's Burden next season. Do you believe that there was an entire season focused around Gambit? That's a crime. The Drifter tries to rope us into his brand new pyramid scheme called Gambit Prime. However, I was always taught to say no to drugs, so I don't play it. Season of Opulence. Callus is back, and I'm gonna say, he made a little bit of an oopsies in his pants. And by his pants, I mean his spaceship, the Leviathan, because frankly, I don't think he wears pants. Anyways, the oopsies is named Galron, and he accidentally put on a Hive artifact called a Crown of Sorrow that just literally fucks him up and gives him green hands and makes him huge. So we have to get it off, and by get it off, I mean kill him in his face. For the rest of the season, we're pretty much just once again playing cleanup on the Leviathan, but it's fun because we actually get good loot, and I didn't play this season. Shadow Keep. This expansion is 6 hours of nothing. Yet again, spooky ghosts are haunting the moon. But what's this? Spooky ghost version of Hive Kylo Ren is here too. What? We enter the Dorito, do a little bit of gardening, get every Gambit Invader's favorite weapon, and call it a day. Season of the Undying is basically Garden 2 Electric Boogaloo. Vex are invading the moon, and we're killing them. Season of Dawn. Oh wait, that's a good bit. Remember that Saint 14 guy that was definitely dead? Well, he's alive. Oh, and he is gay and based. Yeah, so we run through some quarters of time, kill some Cabal, fix a sundial, and that's whatever. Season of the Worthy. After we 4-0 curb stomped the Cabal at the sundial, they decide they've had enough and that they want to just crash their ship into our tower. Look, I gotta level with you guys. These are maybe the most dire circumstances we have ever been in as Guardians. I mean, we've got like 3 months until this slow-moving ship It's our tower. Anna thinks Rasputin, the maybe friendly robot from a little earlier, can help us to defend ourselves. But Rasputin doesn't really know if he wants to help, but also Rasputin's a little sussy baka, and he maybe probably definitely killed his father. Anyways, he's our friend now. At the end of the 3 months, when the ship is as closest as it has been to our tower, Rasputin then decides to fire its missiles at it and knock it out of the sky. This is actually the best season ever, and it's not even a contest. Season of arrivals, let's do it. Uh-oh, here come the evil space Doritos, specifically to Mercury, Mars, Titan, and Io. Rasputin falls asleep, and since we can't talk to our bestie on Mars, now we have to talk to a tree on Io, and also the darkness. Yeah, we literally talk to the darkness. Don't ask me how, because I cannot tell you. Now look, we're all a little spooked by the darkness and the implications it might have of us using it, but we got one thing straight pretty fast. Dark is not inherently evil. It all depends on how we use it. Like all these scumbags that were just straight shadow diving for 9 months, pure evil. We try to save all of the planets before realizing that they are literally unrepairably fucked, and then we just resort to evacuating literally everyone from every planet. Anna packs up Rasputin into a tiny little Pokeball and comes to the tower. Asher, and Sloane are very much just probably fucking dead, and who gives a shit about Brother Vance? In one final message before the end of the DLC, the darkness tells us to go to Europa, right before gobbling up all of our planets in a very Galactus-like fashion. And then the Traveler also heals itself from what Gaul did to it, which is cool. Alright.
Beyond light.
We touch down in Europa, and immediately we are met with some fallen assholes that are just running around freezing shit, willy-nilly. Naturally, we want to kill them and take those powers for ourselves. That's kind of what this whole DLC is about. As it turns out, there's this fallen chick named Aramis, who is tight with the darkness and is giving all of her friends darkness powers in the form of stasis, which is ice but also isn't really ice. I don't know, ask Manji about it. One by one we kill all of our friends and also her, and it's a very good thing that she's definitely gonna remain dead. Oh, and while she's hanging out in Europa, she discovers this place called the Deep Stone Crypt, which is basically where all the exiles were made. Anyway, her fallen friends are trying to commit domestic terrorism through the Deep Stone Crypt, so we go in, stop them, and in the absence of, well, 4 fucking planets, Oryx's sister, Ziva Wrath, starts pushing to take the Tangled Shore for herself. Also, Osiris's ghost high-key bites the dust and we have to come to the rescue. Oh, and remember that guy Aldrin, who is definitely dead? He is alive, and his name is Crow now, and he's basically a slave to that guy's spider we talked about earlier. Over the course of a few weeks, we discover that Crow is actually a pretty cool dude, and soon enough, we are just besties with him. We get a cool new gun from the fresh EDZ sewers, and we help set Crow free at the end of the day. Best friends forever. Next season, we just defeated the Hive, and now we have to deal with the Cabal. Kaido is Callus's daughter, and she wants to join forces with us, but in the sense of she wants us to bow down and suck on her toes. Of course we say no. No! And now a war has broken out. We spent a few weeks, just doing the standard, killing her leadership, investigating a spooky ship that Callus fucked around on, and it eventually all comes to a T when she says, my boyfriend would fuck you up. And then we're like, no, we would totally fuck him up. And then we fuck him up. And now we're besties now for some reason. I don't know, we're allies. New ally, cool, great, next season. Surprise, it's a power outage. The Vex have turned off the lights, and only they know where the on switch is. Mithrax, who's this badass Vex hacker, helps us get into the Vex network, which is kind of like their home, where we take the fight straight to them. Also, we're introduced to Lakshmi too, who is the leader of this foundry called the Future War Cult, and very quickly we realize she is just very fucking racist. I know you think I'm exaggerating right now, but holy shit, just go look at old clips. You will understand, I promise. We continue venturing into the Blade Runner world, and soon we realize that Savathun is behind all of this. Now, Savathun, or Savathun, is another one of Oryx's sisters, and she is not messing around. Towards the end of the season, Lakshmi decides that she wants to do a friendly little, storming of the capital, and with the help of Osiris, she basically sends out a radio message calling for the eradication of the Fallen. And then she fucking dies. I don't care what anyone says, this is the best ending to a season ever. After helping out on attacking the Fallen at the end of the last season, there's a warrant out for Osiris' arrest. We meet him in the Dreaming City, only to find out it wasn't Osiris, it was Savathun. Savathun is trapped in a rock for now, but we've got bigger problems at hand. Mars' unpaid interns, otherwise known as the Techians, are kind of just lost in this shattered realm, and the only person that knows where they are is Savathun. Savathun cuts us a deal. She's got this parasite affecting her intestinal tract right now, so if we cut the parasite out of there, she'll help us find all the Techians, and she'll give Osiris back. Now, after all the interns have been rescued and OSHA has finished its workplace safety investigation, we perform the exorcism. Savathun gets away, but Osiris returns. All is good. For now. Hold that thought. Witch Queen, yeah. Surprise! Mars is back, this time with 20% more corn. Savathun is also very alive, and her and all of her friends use a cheat code to get access to the light. Yeah, so as it turns out, the Traveler thought it would be a neat idea to give all of our enemies the light too. So kind of think of it like a stealth nerf to us. Apparently Savathun is actually Spider-Man and wants to web up the Traveler and pull it into her world, so I guess no one can use it? I don't remember, I played it like a year ago. But we hit her with some funky memory juice, and that distracts her long enough to let us kill her. I'm sorry, we kill a lot of people, it's like all we do. Oh, and we also find out that Megamind is the leader of the darkness. Okay, it's not. He's actually called the Witness, but I mean, look at him. Like, look at him. We do a little bit of investigative journalism on the pyramid in the throne world, and we meet this guy named Rulk, who is a disciple of the Witness. Side note, when we tried to beat this raid on day one, I told my fire team that if we got the clear, I would name my firstborn child Rulk, and I have never been more happy to fail a raid. Rulk is a disciple of the Witness, which means he witnessed these nuts slapping him across the face as we kicked his shit in. Next season. So this season is basically just Witch Queen Part 2. Hive Guardians are spreading across the system like your mom's legs last night, and Saladin needs us to put a stop to it. We're not trying to kill them this time though, we're trying to capture them and study them. We fight these Hive Guardians in the Mindscape, which is kind of like the inside of a Scion's head. And we also capture them there so that we can play with them later. Oopsies though. Aldwin made a fuck you wonky and accidentally killed the one fucking Scion we needed. I felt uncomfortable saying that. Saladin falls on the sword for Aldrin, and he had sworn in on Kaido's war council. So, it all works out, I guess. Oops, all Leviathan. Callus is back and badder than ever. His ship is here too, and it's infected with gonorrhea. And also there are the spooky ghosts from the moon haunting it. We spent some time in Callus's head, but we also spent some time in the head of others. We get to watch Crow fight with imposter syndrome, we get to watch Zavala have his second divorce, and we get to watch Kaido miss the resemblance of a father figure in her life. We definitely kill Callus for good, except we literally don't, and he only gets stronger from here on out. Season of Plunder is the Naruto filler arc of this franchise. Remember that chick Aramis who was definitely dead? Well, she's alive, and she wants to kill us. In this season, everyone is pirates. Pirate! Mithrax has a kid. Spider is here for some reason, and I'm really fucking bored. Every single week we go on a fancy expedition and kill some pirates so we can get another MacGuffin. What do these MacGuffins do? Stay tuned. Aramis fucks off yet again so she can hang out with the Witness, and we very surely repair the fallen living quarters. So, great end of the season. Season of Seraph. Mars is back again, but not really. Rasputin actually wants to help now, but he's still trapped inside Anna's Pokeball, and he's kind of starting to suffocate in there. We decide we want to expedite the process of getting Rasputin into an exo body, but Clovis, who is Anna's software grandfather, gets there first, and somehow we're met with the second racist robot in the franchise. How are there going to be two? Clovis is eventually evicted for uncivil conduct because he actually just wants to be a god instead of protecting humanity. And Rasputin moves in where he once was. And it's great. Rasputin is thriving until he's not, and we literally have to kill him at the end of that season. Also, the Traveler fucks off into the stratosphere, and it's... okay. Alright, I think we're done. That was the entire story. At least the stuff that's Sunset. Now look, I know I was joking for a lot of this video, and I probably didn't take it as seriously as I should have, but the story is really important to this game, and it's got a lot of really good parts to it. And if my video can help more people understand and enjoy it potentially, then it's a video I really want to make. So I hope you got some enjoyment out of this. I hope it was fun. I hope you understand things a little more. If not, I understand. I explained it very poorly. I am gonna go live on my Twitch channel, which is linked in the description, flashing on screen right now. So you should definitely follow there if you wanna see some more extra juicy content. Yeah. Peace.